Actually going to share you guys my personal story of how God invited me to dream with him and actually how it radically transformed my life. And probably about 10 years ago, back in 2011, when the Lord introduced me to dreaming with him, I didn't really understand it, but it just completely blew my mind away. And yeah, so this is the story how God invited me to dream with him. Back in 2011, I was doing something called YWAM. Okay, so YWAM is actually a missions organization, and I was out there in Montana doing a school, and one of the things I would do to relax, or one of the things I do to enjoy, is I would go out and play soccer in and out of being trained in the area of missions, right? So essentially, I remember one day I'm just kicking the soccer ball around, and I was actually a decent soccer player. I actually wanted to pursue soccer as like a future career when I was younger. And what I would do to practice is I would kick the soccer ball and try to hit the top of the soccer goal, the rim, right? So I'm just minding my own business, juggling, kicking the ball around and stuff like that. And out of the blue, God speaks to me and says, "Hey, Josh, I want to buy you a gift." And to be honest with you guys, where my heart in this place of my life was like, "What do you mean you want to buy me a gift? Like, this is so bizarre." But I knew it was God's voice. And I said, "Well, why do you want to buy me a gift?" He's like, "Well, Josh, because you're my son and I love you. What do you want?" So I'm actually a runner, and I wanted these pair of shoes just because that's just what seemed like something I wanted at the moment, right? So essentially what happened is like, "God, I would love these types of shoes," right? And he said, "All right, here's the deal. I will buy you those types of shoes as long as you can hit the top of that crossbar on that soccer pole." So I know you guys are thinking, well, that's kind of interesting, but God actually likes to connect with us and play with us. So me being a soccer player, I understand that I had to back up probably about 20 to 30 feet away to kick it for it can you can curve and hit the top of the soccer rim. So I put the soccer ball down, I feel God's presence, and essentially what happened is, as I'm getting ready to kick, I just remember looking at the Lord, and I was like, "God, if I make this shot, you owe me, because this is a difficult shot." I place the soccer ball down, I run up to it, gosh darn it, it was a good shot. I kick it, it goes in there, it hits the top of the soccer pole, bounces off, I jump in there, start screaming, "God, God, you owe me, God, you owe me." And it was just a very deep father and son time. And I remember I just felt his presence, and I felt this deep love over myself. And he said, "All right, Josh, I will get those for you. Just go order them." And I know you guys are thinking, well, that's kind of lame. Well, I'm not finished. Essentially what happened is, as I'm walking away from the soccer pitch, the Lord starts having a conversation with me. And he's like, "All right, Josh, I want to give you some money now. How much money do you want?" And I was like, what on earth? Like, I just didn't know like what to do about all this information that God was speaking to me about. I said, "Why do you want to give me money?" He's like, "Well, Josh, because I am your provider." We see that biblically. "And one day you're going to have to learn how to trust me with finances, so how much money do you want?" So I just kind of thought about it. I was like, I don't know, like, can you just give me like $100 or something like that? He said, "No, Josh, I have more money than that. How much money do you want?" I'm like, I don't know, $500. So a week from that conversation, someone randomly sent me $500 check in the mail, and then I got my pair of shoes in. So that is how I came up with the message of dreaming with God and experiencing fulfilled desires. I didn't really I knew that God could speak, but I didn't really know him in this way. Does that make sense? I didn't know that God as a father, me being a son through my salvation experience, I didn't understand he was interested in hanging out with me and wanting to take interest in the unique things that my heart enjoyed. Does that make sense?